Hey, my name is Ben Selstrom. We're going to change the thermostat on a 2002 Ford F-150. It just will not get hot like it should in the cab, and it's like 10 degrees outside these days, so thermostat is what it's going to be. So here we go. First step is remove this from here. I pulled the plug on this sensor here and just undid this air filter part, and you should be able to lift this up past it. Next I'm going to take this cover off. So it's just three 10mm bolts. You can remove that cover. And there, after loosening that, this whole assembly just pops up, and it's out of the way enough to where we can access the thermostat area, which is right underneath this little casting here. So it's just a couple of bolts that hold that on there. But before we get too excited, we're going to drain a little bit of radiator fluid out. And that's down there somewhere. Okay, so just going to check the level of the coolant right now. That looks to be good, just so that we kind of have a reference. And then down here, right up under here, right there, you can see that I have attached a hose, that little drain connection that leads down into this bottle here. That's a clean bottle, so if I want to, I can reuse this fluid. But I'm not sure if I'm going to do that or not. So now I just have to loosen that nut up there, and it should start draining. So I got 1 gallon drained out into my container here. And now we should be ready to remove these bolts. Hopefully 1 gallon is enough. I'm just going to start with that and see if there's more fluid here yet. So this one, that one, and one down over there. So we're going to start with this top one, and then these two. I believe these are 10 millimeter on top of here. And they are. Yep. 10 millimeter for the two side ones. That looks like more like an 8. Okay, so I got all of those bolts pulled off. The top one is an 8 millimeter. And I'm going to try to balance my camera on the intake manifold there, or the air filter housing. So now this should come loose, and actually I can feel that it's loose already here. So this is when we find out if 1 gallon was indeed enough to drain out of this thing. And it looks as if 1 gallon is sufficient indeed, because this seems to be coming off okay. This is a matter of getting it past this top bracket here. There we go. Lift it off. Alright. There she is. This is off of here. We didn't have any fluid drain out, so that's good. And I'm going to get a little bit of a tool to pull the old thermostat out. And I'll get the closer view of that in just a second. Okay, so this is definitely not the perfect tool for this, but just goes to show that any old thing you got laying around can do the trick. The sucker's really stuck in there. There we go, it's coming. Okay, most of the way out there. Get the rest of it with my fingers. It's pretty hot, let me tell you. I didn't drive this thing very far, just a couple miles. Holy cow. You've got to be kidding me. Okay, alright, well, we'll look at this in a second. The level of the fluid is right there. And that's unbelievable. So, 1 gallon. Don't drain anything less than a gallon. So, okay, so here's the old one. And we're going to grab the new one. There they are, old and new, side by side. This is a O'Reilly Auto Parts Murray Plus 3779. They look very similar, slightly different, but looks pretty much the same. I would have got the Motorcraft one, the actual Ford one, but I did not have time, because tomorrow we're going on a trip to Wisconsin. So, this one it is. So I think we are good to go. We just slap this sucker in here, and the gasket goes on top. So we're just going to start by dropping this guy in, just like that. I'm going to position it just like that, because that's kind of how the other one was. And then here's the new gasket or O-ring. I don't know, you probably want to call it an O-ring more than a gasket. Sitting right on the top edge of it there. And then I'll just show you one thing on this hose. On the top of it here, you can see how this is kind of beveled or angled right here. That's because it squishes that O-ring to the outside edge to make that seal. So I'm going to clean up this edge a little bit here, but then ready to bolt it back together. Okay, so when you tighten these things back up here, just don't go crazy. I mean, everything. Okay, when I was little and I first started working on stuff, I was working on my little Honda 4-wheeler. And I would go nuts. I stripped out so many bolts, it was stupid. And as you get older, you figure out, oh, I just have to get those things snug. You know? I mean, I'm just going to give a little bit of a tug, but that's it. Quit right there. Don't do anything else. You're done. Finished. El fino. Don't go crazy, or you'll cost yourselves all kinds of money. So anyway, those two are snugged back up there now. So it's just reversed your process, y'all. I'm not from the South. You guys. And get this put back together. And I will fire it up and we'll see how the thing heats. Alright, we are all reassembled. Fluid added to the tank. We are ready to start this 2002 Ford F-150 up. Right in 3, 2, 1. We will see exactly what this does. We're going to let it run for a while and see if it heats up like it's supposed to. Alright, so after it ran for a while, the heat is blowing nice and hot. And I'm pretty sure we've got our problem resolved and the truck is good to go again. Everything seems to be operating well. So that's how you change your thermostat on a 2002 Ford F-150 Crew Cab. If this video helped you out in any way, please feel free to rate it up and subscribe. This is a 5.4 liter engine. I don't know if I mentioned that at the beginning or not, but yeah, so this has been another repair video with Ben. Adios.